Hey, what's up, everybody? This is steviebreech coming to you. Made a video a second ago, but fuck that video. It's too sad. Basically, I was talking about the closing of WrestleCrap Radio. WrestleCrap Radio, greatest brought us 7 great years of wrestling podcast. You can't really just say wrestling, but it is loosely based around wrestling. It's what brought us all in to listen to Blade Braxton and Artie Reynolds. They put on one hell of a show. Like I said, it is roughly sort of based around wrestling, but has a lot more to do with Artie Reynolds going to the grocery store or the library, Blade Braxton and his antics of trash bagging, some alien ham, so on and so forth. It was highlighted by its WrestleMania show every year, which was is Black Friday, where you got to hear about the antics of Artie Reynolds going out and buying his family presents on Black Friday every year. You got the Halloween episode drop-ins by Roddy Piper himself year after year. Um, I mean, this is just a damn good show that they put on. It gave you references to the past that you'd never really thought about. And if you had thought about it, they made you not feel as insane for thinking about Mama dropping a plate, and damn, 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 week after week, so on and so forth. It's awful funny when you go back and you listen to that first show that is so haunted by all the dated references and all the people that fell fell to the curse of the WrestleCrap Radio. How they're all pretty much dead now, from Barney Fife, from the chick from the Golden Girls, and so on and so forth. Man, the way they did their podcast was really really good. It sort of made you feel like you were buddy buddy with R.D. Reynolds and Blake Braxton. Hopefully, I'm not the only one who feels like that because that'd be a little creepy. But I started listening to them when they first came out. They were a couple episodes in. I loved back in the day. They were almost like short, little, quick 20-minute podcasts, which just, with the fame that they grew, with the numbers of people downloading the shows and listening every week, grew to an hour to an hour and a half to sometimes even 2.5 hours for that clip show they put together for, I believe, one of their anniversaries, which took forever to listen to, honestly, because you forgot where you left off. That was just me, but these guys are breaking off and doing their own things. Artie Reynolds is doing his stuff with his family, which I congratulate him for. I've honestly came to the point sometimes where it feels like that I need to give up making my YouTube videos as well, because it just takes time out of your day when you could be doing something else. Blade Braxton with his business that he runs and that everything else they do is just hard for them to connect. It was easy to see if you were a longtime listener or subscriber to the podcast that they were coming less frequently, but in your mind you kept on believing that they'd be able to get it back together someday. It was always a mark out when you went to your iTunes and you looked in your podcast and there was a new one downloaded the night before or something like that, or you caught it while it was downloading and you'd be chanting for it like, "Yeah, come on!" They brought so many characters that just wouldn't make sense off the bat. One of my favorite ones was Johnny Six, who was one of the first TNA correspondents. Basically, they had TNA correspondents because the TNA was so bad that neither of them wanted to watch it nor talk about it. Um, I often shared the same thoughts about wrestling with Artie Reynolds. He was a big fan of the ECW show. When it first came on, it was an easy show to watch on your TiVo, fast forwarding, and I believe his all-time high was he watched a whole episode of ECW in 2 minutes, which for a long time that's how I was watching wrestling as well. But to everybody else they brought on the show, from Gay Popeye, who was hysterical, Angry Jim, go fuck yourself. Stubby, another guy who needs to go fuck himself as well. Stubby was the guy that just couldn't be on the show enough. I hope that this last show that they're going to do, that Stubby makes the trip and that he basically takes it over NWO style, because I never could get enough Stubby. Sir Alex Heinegan was the guy that sort of grew on me. Mike Check was somebody that I hated. I hated Mike Check when he first came along, but 2 episodes in, he warmed my heart. And now every once in a while, when he calls in from prison, that blows my mind. But WrestleCrap Radio is a show, like I said, that is loosely based around wrestling. That when I first stumbled upon it, I was I was a non-frequent guest of WrestleCrap.com, and I would go there just to check out the new inductions and so, and I just didn't have anything to do, so I listened to their podcast for one time, and I don't know if it was any other podcast that was, I thought was going to be about wrestling, I probably wouldn't have listened to another one, but somehow they sucked me in, and I thought they did a damn good job. So Artie Reynolds, congratulate you. I hope you can move on in your way to onewrestling.com, and you get a whole bunch of success there. Blade Braxton will be bringing his own new podcast with hopefully his friend Don will be coming in, and he'll be trying to bring back the magic with all the guests of the past that he could get on there. Hopefully Stubby will be his number one co-host. Maybe that they can hook up and do that. But I wish them all the luck, and I thank them for the 7 years of laughter. If there's any way you can help them out, there's a lot of people who listen to the podcast who don't know about the website, or if you don't know about it, make sure you head over to WrestleCrap.com. New uploads every Friday with your jobbers of the week, your inductions, where they induct things out of wrestling past, or they bring things back that are either fresh in your mind or that you just want to know more about it, and you find yourself heading over to YouTube and watching, which turns out to be we starts out with one clip and it ends up being 7 to 8 to find out. You can find out the whole angle of everything that's on there. One of my favorite things I didn't know about before going to the site was the Black Scorpion versus Sting gimmick, which I've gone out and watched all of that. I've actually went out and purchased a compilation DVD, which I can watch that on. But that is great stuff. Once you're over there, if there's any way you can support, you can buy the archives at the site, which has every induction that they've done, every anything that's on the website, every podcast they've ever done, and everything like that. There's the 2008 archives, which is signed by Artie Reynolds. This is like one of a kind. It's got to be worth like $1 million. That comes with the shoot interview. They have the 2010 archives, which comes with the WrestleCrap radio roast, which is hysterical in its own. The WrestleRest radio, the roast is free with the archives, and honestly, I would have paid money for the roast and not really cared about the archives, because the roast rules. I don't know how much work they put into that, but they deserved every dollar that they could make off of there. I also have the 2006 archives, but I can't find it. Artie Reynolds has done a whole lot of work on his own. He wrote the first book, WrestleCrap, which is a great book talking about all the bad wrestling gimmicks of all time. You can see WCW Kiss on there for you, Giant Gonzalez, Papa Shango, and the Double Doinks. You got the narcissist Lex Luger, and then you got Doink and Dink down there as well. This is a really good book, not just pointing out, this sucked, this sucked, this sucked, but it puts everything into storyline fashion with chapters where it goes over just all the shit that has wasted our time on wrestling over the years. They also put out Death of WCW with Brian Alvarez, another well-known person in the wrestling business, with Figure 4 Weekly. I think everybody's seen the reviews of Kevin Nash picking up this book. Kevin Nash, I'm a big fan of yours, but when you pick up a book and you tear it to shreds, acting like you've read it, and the reasons that you point out why the book sucks is the final chapter of the book itself. I don't know if he thought that this was pointing himself, as the guy that killed WCW, because he's on the cover with Scott Hall there for you, but hey, dumbass, the whole end of the book is everything you're saying in that video that's on YouTube. Great book to pick it up. I honestly read that book about once a year. That's how good it is, just to keep the fresh stuff. It points out the highs of WCW to the things that, what are they doing? It's on its way down to the final day they slam the door on it. Really good stuff. And then the WrestleCrap Book of Lists. This is done by the WrestleCrap radio guys themselves, Artie Reynolds and Blade Braxton. I honestly, it took me a while to figure out what the hell to do with this book. If you read it front to back, you're going to get a little bored, and I don't know if you can do it like that. But this is honestly like a bathroom reader. If most of you guys out there know, pick this book up when you're on the can. You just flip open to one of the lists in there and you just read. And it's hysterical that way. It's not meant to sit down and read cover to cover. 10 to 15 minute tops. It'll leave you thinking it's one of the best books out there. But once again, Artie Reynolds, Blake Braxton, thank you very much. Support you in anything you guys do from here on out. And I'm awfully sad that you guys are moving on, but I understand why. Thank you.